Oh God. Yeah, and I'm gonna cry a little bit because I can't help but be emotional about it. And I mean, I've been with our library for about 5 years now. This is the first time I've worked at a library. I mean, the library's just a great place, grab a book, take your mind off of things. It's quiet. For me, as a young kid, the public library was my favorite place to visit. And in schools, it was a sanctuary. Being in a library, I feel like I belong. And have the people, pretty much everybody I work with, we all have the same experience, because I think we were all, in one way or another, some kind of weirdo that just needed a safe space. And the library was that, it's sort of like when you find that niche or fall in love, it's something along those lines. It really impacts me. Walking to my office, I'll often see almost every day at least one instance where there's someone who you can tell they're going through a rough time, and a library staff person is looking them in the eyes and talking to them and listening to them, and and they're willing to help, whatever it is. That was the beginning of something really incredible. I knew some people who were close with the organization, nonprofit, who was in charge of keeping these things in storage. Backstory would be Wayne White, who is an internationally known artist at this point in his career, who is originally from here, from Hixson. He came back to town and announced this project. It was huge. It was a really big deal. So when we brought it in, we knew right off the bat, because all of the puppets that are featured in Wayne-A-Rama are based on local history characters. So we knew that we wanted it because it would be a perfect opportunity to show off the Chattanooga history collections. The only caveat Wayne White had was, just don't do Wayne-A-Rama again. And we said, oh, no problem there. So we call it History Funhouse, which is actually inspired by a quote of him describing the exhibit, the original exhibit. The fact that we got the yes made me feel like we really needed to treat it special. And Wayne, when he finally did come, and about a month after it opened, they started to cry. He must have said at least 4 or 5 times that evening, and then sent a message afterward about just how much it meant to him to see his pieces of art not only live on and get exposed to a new crowd and a new environment, but that the work we had done to provide that historical context and show them in a different light just meant the world to him, because he just felt like they're living a new life, so to speak. There were at least 4 different people I met that evening who had driven from out of state just for that event. And then the fact that, the next day, I had so many people call and text to say, that was the event of the night. That was the event of the night. And I was crying because I said, yeah, I love that, but it's the only event in Chattanooga that anyone could have gone to. Anyone could have had the exact same experience. Libraries are the last place on earth that you simply can exist. You don't have to have money. You don't have to look a certain way. Everyone is welcome. That's probably, I feel like, the most important thing about libraries.